Willi Kubica was born in Berlin in 1990. After studying theater, film, and media studies in Vienna, he pursued a directing degree at the Film Academy Baden-Württemberg. His historical short film, Elia 376 AD, earned him the Young Civis Media Prize, which is Europe's media award for integration.
Hello. First of all, I want to thank you all for being here and joining this workshop. So many interested people, that's really great. Because especially for those film and those concepts, this critical film and image hub is talking about, it's exactly this kind of situations and things we are looking for. Basically I introduced myself up front, so let's get right into it. I wanted to structure my small input for this session, how I structure my pitches. And this is once in film school I learned those, we all know the W questions, but there's also those Y questions that have several separations. So those are, first of all, why, the first question, then why this or why this way. Then the other question is why now? Why me? You can, if you would like to choose one of the questions to start with, you can decide, like, why this way, why now?
You?
Why me? I guess that this would be like the maybe the most interesting thing, because this is what I asked myself too a lot before going into this pitching. I will tell how it came to this project later a bit more. But why me? Yeah, this is like a general answer for why I'm here in this workshop, why Radmila and Andra invited me to talk about, because I bring, for myself, I decided somehow to, my task in all this is to crack the code to how to get through to the majority audience. Because I observed for myself a lot in myself too, this effect that you see something, it's a tough topic, it's a complex topic, and it needs your engagement a lot. A lot of people are refusing that or pulling it away from them and reject it somehow. And this is especially true with a lot of the German majority that is rejecting some kind of messages or policies or tendencies. So I was thinking about, okay, how would I, or a lot of people I know, how could they get in contact with such a heavy topic? And so this is why I decided to go for this humor direction. But first of all, why me? It is like the connects to, I try to make a film that is mainly not clicked away by the majority audience because they see, oh, it's a heavy topic, I don't care, let's continue. So, so I hope this answers this a little bit. Yes, so there are some questions left. It's like, why now, why this? Yes.
I would love to know why this way, as in why did you choose the casting situation for your film?
Yeah, so it's always something tell about things you know, and like you know too, casting is a thing I know and I have to deal with myself a lot. And so I thought, okay, let's get into the situation. First of all, maybe that's like the general why I'm gonna read out the briefing that Radmila and her colleagues prepared for this film. So the tagline was representation of Sinti and Romani people in audiovisual media. And the goal of the film project is to raise awareness of how film and television continue to create and perpetuate racist stereotypes and how these can be broken down. And this is now very important. there are no formal requirements or creative restrictions. Anything is possible. And I especially loved like the last sentence, because anything is possible. It's like triggering my brain very creatively. And then I thought I gotta give it a shot, because I never thought that this pitch will go through. I was like, okay, I give it one try. It's very radical. It's very it's basing on humor, and let's see how it goes. And because for myself, I worked in a lot of the genres you can work in, because I don't have like one favorite kind of genre I want to tell stories in, but I always look for how do I want to reach the audience, and with what kind of vehicle, what's the best vehicle to do it. So this can be, I already made a historical drama piece in the 4th century AD, and I also made the science fiction film in Germany and stuff like that to address certain topics. And for this one, I was like, okay, I know a lot of people, I know my parents especially, to which I talk about a lot of topics, and I always realize this, leave me alone. Oh my God, they want to tell me something and they have to learn. No, I'm not interested. It's fine. It's not about me and all of this kind of stuff. And so, how would my parents watch this kind of film? I was like, they like Anke Engelke, like they like sketches. They like it short, like a lot of people today, especially in the internet. And so I thought, okay, there has to be a lot of humor. It has to be fast, so that the people cannot even think about, shall I switch it off or not? And so this came into being. And I tried to be a little bit more dramatic than it maybe is, but now since the film, I worked in a lot of projects in the meantime, and I'm like, no, it's really not, as you said, it's really not that far from this kind of situation. So, and especially the thing I wanted to convey is like this, why to make it a sketch. It's the good thing about a sketch or like a short comedic film is that you can take a huge topic and convey like this core of truth in a short time. And I think, this was the plan.
I think you did that very successfully. Congratulations.
Thank you. But this is maybe like, why now is a different topic, but to make a little crossing here, the successful part is, I was not sure about it a long time, because I also because there's like this meta layer in this whole project, because I was casting for this casting. And this is what I also want to talk about, is because it went, sometimes it went really great, and I think the whole approach, I'm gonna lay it out later, went fine, but there also were some problems, I would say. But this is for later. And then maybe the last question, this why now, is I think it's really cynical and ironical, but I faced like this situation, as Sead already mentioned in his, also in the Film Academy. And filmmaking people mostly try to be, someone said it before, like people in Germany, they are woke on the outside. And I think it's a great term to describe it, because it's like this a kind of superficial layer, like, we are doing it. And in reality, it's like, we are doing it very fast and superficially, and if it gets annoying, maybe we also skip that part. So, and with Why Now is a year before this casting film, I made a documentary with 3 young Jewish students in Baden-Württemberg, and we had like a workshop situation like this with cameras, and we were talking about how we can represent Jewish life in media and what could change, etc. And I again brought like my majority perspective into them, and we are like dealing things out, debating and stuff. And there I realized, okay, the Jewish communities, when it comes to film and media and like fighting and stuff, there's a lot of things happening. And a year later, I was doing the casting project, and a lot of people told me like, yeah, for like, it sounds cynical, it's not meant this way, but yeah, like for the Jewish people, all the Germans, they are like super onto it and it's going so well. But when we, as like the Romani people, trying to do something, somehow nobody is listening and we are not doing enough. And and also it is really weird because some of the people I work with, also in the Film Academy, I think it's one of the racism against Romani and Sinti people seems to be like a totally tolerated and accepted kind of racism. It's like you don't even have to hide it. It's like it's really crazy. So this is why I thought, okay, this is maybe it's time for me from this kind of majority perspective to take my part in it. Because I also recently read from this Austrian writer. She's called Mareike Fallwickel. I don't know if you know it. She's writing a lot about feminism, and she wrote a small essay about why we need a new feminism of togetherness. And this was really striking for me because she has this ironical part in it because she was saying like, yeah, we cannot like drive on as the feminist movement without the man. And I think the hard part somehow is like the representation of minorities can't happen without the cooperation with the majority. So it's all intertwined. And so I think this is basically why, or maybe a lot of you also are here. Yes, so this is like the big round, all of it. If you have questions, just throw them in. Now maybe the interesting part, or also this is what kind of is answering the question of how to avoid things, is how I prepared for this film, because I was like, okay, this is a huge topic, there's a lot of traps maybe, it could end up in a huge shitstorm or something like this. And so I basically started this whole meta casting, it's like getting to know so many people as possible, like contacting, researching, asking around. And the casting was not like this, that I invited a lot of people, but I was like, because it depended so much on trust, I was driving to them. I was like visiting them. And if somebody's interested, I had like a briefing of what I want to do with the film, because if you write it out, it can be hugely misunderstandable. And some people, unfortunately, also did get it in a wrong way, but I will talk about it later. And so I had like this input, people were addressing me, and I was like, okay, let's meet up, let's have a phone call and everything else. And I was laying out them the idea of the script and asked them, if it's going like this and that, how would you answer? So I was like heavily relying on the input and the togetherness in the working process, and also making sure all the time, do you want to be part of this? Do you really want to do it? And what do you want to say? And this is like a way we all got together then quite good. So this is maybe the one question to how to avoid traps, is to heavily include as a lot of expertise and input you can gather. So, and I think this helps here to give me the safety to do it, but also a big learning, and we're going to talk about it later in when we do our part together, is you have to take time for that, because it takes time, and filmmaking is often not, time is scarce. And I, for myself, learned that this briefing and how to I approach people could even be much more sensitive.
My question is, I really liked when it was the lady. Like I said, I like the Roma in the movie when they oppose and they are not. They are not like, okay, let's do it. So I liked when the woman said, so you don't have to speak. Like she doesn't even have to have a voice. And I wanted to ask you, how did you think about this? Because it's such a point in intersectionality. You know, when women don't really have to speak, they don't have a voice, and they have double discrimination because they just need their face and their body, and they are, I don't know, extra sexualized. Or how did you think of this with the questions? Why me? Why now? Like how? Like more on your process of script and of everything.
Yeah, that's a complex question. I try to.
I don't know if I'm saying. I love your perspective on this.
Okay, great. Yeah, I think it's very open, like this discussion too, because it's a process. Yeah, and those things like it's like crazy. Maybe I gotta answer, but like for example, I worked on I want to talk about how, in general, film and media, to come back to like this visual topic of this workshop, it has really so much power. It's crazy, and it is in every field we are influenced, and especially like this, it's totally okay for most people that women are more in casting processes, female cast lead. It's a lot about looks still and representation. How is it? I so often have like discussions in script writing processes like, but like she seems to be a bit annoyed or psychic when she's like written like this, and then you have like the exact kind of counterpart for the man, and he's like this, and just, yes, he's strong and tough, and so it all comes together when you say when you make film about people in general, you always representing and stating things. Let me give another example. Like I do a lot of crime work, and recently I made a work about serial killer topic, and we talked to a lot of police people, like this profiling people from the German police, and they are like super. That's why research is so important, and talking to the people who deal with situations. He was like, I'm so annoyed that serial killers so often get represented like the super intelligent type of guys. And they are like the masterminds. And they are somehow, and even in all the true crime formats, there is also some kind of sexy vibe to it. And he hates it because it's so far away from reality. And so they are mostly quite stupid and mostly have a lot of luck. But again, it's a topic where media and film, we like centuries, we are making like Criminal Minds and Silence of the Lambs and stuff, and like the serial, he's kind of a clever guy actually. He's not stupid, and being not stupid is kind of a good trait. So yeah, those things they happen, and when you can address them in this moment, it's I think it's generally awareness for when something comes up. You always have to ask yourself, and this is what I tried even more now with everything I really come over, is like, do we really have to do it this way just because it's fast and quick and we don't have the time? So yeah, this is like a huge part of the daily thing, to ask yourself those questions.
I have a question and an Anmerkung.
Comment.
So I saw your film before.
Yeah.
And I'm also in this topic with Antigypsyism in film and visibility for Romani people. And when I saw your film, I was like, okay, wow. I didn't like it. I have to say it. I didn't like it at all, because I'm more like, if we want to break this presentation from Romani and Sinti people in the media, then I'm not going to show stereotypes. That's my viewpoint, and then I wouldn't put the racist word in it. It doesn't matter in which context, and that's the one thing. Because actually, you said you're going to show it in the school. And if the children, they have no idea about these stereotypes, you're gonna put the stereotypes in their head. So I guess for me it's not a good way to work against anti-Gypsyism, because you produce it. Even if you have another Absicht, intention. And there's another thing. When I was seeing it, I was like, okay, I understand the context, because it's really special for film, special. You can't say that everybody gonna understand it, the point. And then at the end, I was missing like some kind of message. If it has to be a message. For example, like stop anti-Gypsyism in film or something. And at the end. Because I guess not so many people are gonna understand right away.
Yeah.
So that would be.
Yeah, it's a great point you're making, because it's when you want to address like this is one of those traps, and maybe this film is from a certain point of view walked into this trap to raise an awareness and representing, reinstating stereotypes. Because like the goal was to clear up about how they are made, the stereotypes, how they are produced in a literal sense of the word of film production. It's we create images and characters and stereotypes, and how is it happening? And
yeah, but everybody knows what are the stereotypes. For me, it's that the challenging show the other way, not the stereotypes. Because from stereotypes we have a lot. We have only stereotypes, and the opposite way it's missing.
Of course, yeah. This is also what we are going to talk later about, like how can you be aware in future projects, in future stories while you are all here.
Okay, we're going to.
One last question.
Yes.
Sorry, just because of the casting, was it cast in an immediate way? So were the actors who played Synthesis and Romney, were they from the community, and the Kartoffel was a German person, or did German non-related to the community actors play the characters that were Synthesis and Romney? Because I think that's an important structural aspect that needs to be considered when we evaluate like the political correctness of the sketch.
Yeah, I think everybody can decide. For me, I'm always trying to think of radical approaches in any sense, and this is going to have resistances. But they were like all everybody was playing coming from the background he or she was portraying.